What up, YouTube Digital? Let me clarify this little car thing for a minute. You gotta do your homework. If you got bad credit, you're gonna pay bad credit APR. But your payment history is what's gonna save your ass. If you've had good history, you're gonna get the best of the shit. So you might get 25 instead of 30. But it doesn't matter if you get a doesn't matter what you get. You can get a $2,000 Honda or you can get a $10,000 car. It doesn't matter. Your APR is your APR. Matter of fact, you may even get raped even more by buying a cheaper car with a lot more miles, everything else. So what you need to figure in is the car's health, mileage, payments, and everything else to figure out where you are at. Reality is most people are paying $3 to $4 to $5 to $6 to $700 a month on vehicles right now. Those are what has been recirculating back into the market. If you want to win any auto game, never buy brand new. You buy a year old, 2 years old. You buy it under 30,000 miles, and that way the kick in the nuts is not going to be that bad. You buy it brand new, 0 miles, and a year later you're going to take a third. You're going to take 25% kick in the nuts. Well, you don't want that, so you already buy it. Yes, and stuff like that. Now, back to the use thing. When you have bad credit, you have bad credit. You like I was saying, the bankruptcy part. You might not pay those old people. You're gonna pay the new people. But you have to be smart about it. This is where you don't become a slave. Your APR is not locked in stone. Now remember this. The whole point is just to get out of it, to get going, to get you into something else. So let's just give an example. Say that you're getting rid of a piece of shit in a bankruptcy. Or just before the bankruptcy, you're getting into another car. It's not the greatest. Let's just say it's what is the market flooded with? It used to be Saturns and Hondas, Pontiacs, Grand Ams. Those things are about a $4,000 car. Okay, market is flooded with these fucking things. All right, you can find a pretty decent one, low mileage, probably 80,000 miles on it, still pretty decent. $4,000, get in, get your boogie on, and everything else. Now, here's the realistic part of it. It's a piece of shit car. I mean, it's okay, but it's not made to last forever. It's not going to have the best trade-in value or anything else. So, you're going to have to focus on paying this damn thing off fast. You get in, you're going to get 30% APR. But that don't mean shit. Okay? Because the fact is 30% APR is calculated where that big old nasty number is going to be if you keep those terms all the way to the end. If you trade in that car, or sell that car, or refinance the car, or pay the car off, that 30% means absolutely donkey dick. Okay? You're going to pay the piper. I don't give a fuck who you are, you're going to pay the piper. Okay, anybody in the auto industry that deals with used cars and bankruptcies will tell you you're going to pay the piper. You're not going to pay the old guy, but you're going to pay the new guy. You're going to have to deal with it. Get it done, get it over with. You know? It's just how it is. Now, I'm trying to help you get it done and over with. If it was me, I would get the cheaper vehicle that's going to be the best of all worlds. Money, mileage, and the ability to pay it off fast. I'm going to tell you, most of these things, even though it has a 30% APR, most of these new loans, they're going to want you to pay it off in 2 years. So let's just, let me get on a little calculator here. Let's just get down to, let's see, will this one work? Okay, here. Let's just say you're getting a Pontiac Grand Am. Okay, let's just say you're financing $4,000. 2 year, I don't like this calculator already. 2 years. Okay, interest rate 30. Calculate. Oh God, 24. Jesus. Okay, at 30%, your payments are going to be $223. Now, I'm not going to sit here and figure out the. Okay, wait a minute. Can I? No, this doesn't do the backwards. Okay. Adding $50 a month. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so your payment's going to be $223.65, $4,000 loan, 2 years, 30% APR. Actually, not a bad deal coming out of bankruptcy. If you pay $50 more a payment monthly, is going to drag your payments down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's going to take 5 payments off. 6 payments off, really, because the 19th is only going to be $2. Your interest paid, okay, is only going to be $1,000. Okay. What if you paid $100 more a month? So what if you paid $330? So let's change this up here. Show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're not doubling your payment, but just paying $100 more a month is instantly going to cut this down to what, 14 payments, I think? And that last one is going to be dirt. It's only going to be like $200, okay? Total interest paid, $844. All right. Well, let's just curiosity kills a cat. Because this thing doesn't show you the table unless you put a number there. So I'm going to add only paying $1 over the payment. So let's figure out what this is going to really be. Your interest on that car loan anyways is only going to be $1,400 on $4,000. Is that high? Yes. Do you have a car that's getting you back and forth to work? Yes. Are you paying it off in 2 years? Yes. So, is there a drawback? Yeah, but like I said, you're going to pay the piper. It's just the rules. I don't make them up. It's just how it is. But see, how do you get out of this? Well, that's easy. You have $223 a month payments. I just showed you, if you pay $50 more a month, you're knocking off 5 or 6 payments. And you're knocking off about $400 in interest. If you could pay $100 more a month, you're knocking off half of the payments and about half of the interest. The interest is calculated by the leftover amount of the money after you made your payment. So you have your base payment, 4,000 divided by 24, which is 4,000 divided by 24. It's 166 a month for your principal. Okay? And I'm not a finance badass. Okay? There's much more better people out here that can whip out these numbers faster than I can. But 166 a month just on your principal. Now, every time you make a payment, 166 is going towards your balance. Okay? So your balance is going down. Okay? Now, the next month comes around, they're taking that balance, times it by 30%. I think they do monthly or daily, something like that. And they get your interest. So that's how they figure out interest. The faster you pay it down, the less interest you're going to pay. So it doesn't matter if it's 30%. Now, here's another thing. Let's just say the best rate you're going to get is 20%. Okay, the best rate you're going to get is 20%. I don't give a fuck. Okay, best rate 20. Your payment's 200. So it went down $20 a month. Okay, so let's just go, okay. That's about $35 a month in interest, okay? But let's just say 20 times 24 save you $480 if you went full term on a loan. The difference between 20 and 30%. Don't get sucked into that. Okay, don't. Because that's where people get all raked. And they'll pick a Honda. They'll pick a piece of shit Honda with 180,000 miles on it and everything. And they'll do a buy here, pay here, and all this other bullshit and have a car that's going to break down in 20 minutes because they're worrying about the difference between 20 and 30%. You need to know how to calculate this to see what the real cost is going to be. On this loan, the difference between 20 and 30% is $480. Now let's go over these figures again. Say you paid $1 over every month. So let's figure out how much interest. $800, $880 total interest. Let's just say you paid $50 a month more. You cut down your payments to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So again, about the same. You cut it down to 19, so you cut it down 5 payments. Really 6, because yet again that last payment's only $100. So you're pretty much cutting it down 6 payments by paying an extra $50. Okay? You're going to save $200 in interest if you pay $50 more a month. Let's pay $100. Let's do this again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Same as the other one. That 16th payment is 15 cents, so I don't think we should count that one. So we're down to 15 payments. Total interest rate $500. So yeah, there's about a $300 to $400 difference between 20 and 30%. But at 30%, you might get a much better car that is going to last you that time of the loan. And here's another thing to figure. Since you got a short loan and you're making higher payments on a lower amount, you're going to technically have equity probably in 8 months. Maybe a year. You're going to have equity in that car. It ain't going to be a lot, but it's going to be equity. At that time, the lender may refinance back down to 20. That will help you. Okay, maybe here's another thing. A year into it, now you got a year of solid payments. You trade that bitch in, you take your equity and a little bit of cash, and you put it on a better car, and you get a better rate. So, I hope this lets people understand my theory about that. You're going to pay the piper. Don't pay the piper on a fucked car. You're not going to get a car that the lenders don't. Okay, the shittier the car, the higher it's going to cost you. Okay, there's kind of like a curve here. Okay, you want to get the best car per money. Okay, even if you have to tack on another year onto your loan, so instead of 2 years, it's 3 years, is better than getting a shittier car. You don't want a car, if you're going to finance, you don't want a car more than 100,000 miles on it. You don't want all that bullshit, because the high cost you're going to pay for that, you could get a better one if you just extend the loan one more year. You take a little bit more of an APR. But realistically, most of those people that sell the cheap ass cars are buy here, pay here. So it'll be a $4,000 car. You have to walk on the lot with $2,000 down. And then you're going to pay that guy the money. And if you don't pay, he's not even 5 minutes late. He's going to come pick that sumbitch up and he's going to come take it. Done. He's not going to report it to your credit. He's not going to give you any credits or anything else, so you're fucked. Don't worry between the difference between 20 and 30. Okay? Go to find yourself an Bankrate.com as this auto calculator. I was able to figure out the interest table just by putting. It didn't automatically do it, which is kind of weird, but I was able to put $1 over the minimum payment, and it was able to break it out. It ain't gonna change that much from the stock one, but do the math. The math doesn't lie. I tell you right now, I'd rather have a car that has 60,000 miles on it and pay 30% APR that is only $2,000 more than a car that has 150,000 miles on it that's $2,000 less, and they want 20% APR and a year less to pay. That's just my preference. The worst thing to do is have a shitty car when you're making a payment. The worst thing to have is a car that breaks down while you're making a payment. That drives the cost of ownership through the roof. I would not finance a $6,000 car for my wife if it had 100,000, 200,000 miles on it. You know, most of the Chevy trucks around here I could get for $9,000, and they have 150,000 miles on it. I ain't gonna fucking do that. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. This car has 56,000 miles on it. There ain't a damn thing wrong with it. We even got a package 2-year warranty in with it. So, yeah. If they want to do a GPS transponder on it, do it. If you're late on your payment and they don't like you, they could disable your car. You know, they could track you down, they could repo it unless you know how to disconnect the damn things. But if you disconnect the damn things, then you're committing fraud. You know, so, you know, who gives a shit? You know, a lot of those loans require it. But if you have bad credit but good payment history, even though you're going through a bankruptcy or just went through a bankruptcy, they're not going to care about that as long as your auto payments are good. Never fuck your auto payments. As long as those are good, they most likely won't require that. Do the math. Don't settle for a shit car unless you absolutely have no choice. And then if you get a shit car, baby the fuck out of it. Do the oil changes when you need to. Do all that stuff. Be on top of the maintenance because you can't afford to have it break down. And if it, as soon as you got at least 50% equity into it. Get rid of the fucking thing. At that point, almost any secondary system, bank place or whatever, will deal with you, even after a bankruptcy. So, yeah, most banks do not want you to have a shit car. They will not finance you for a shit car. I mean, you could go look at a Neon with 150,000 miles. They want to touch it. They don't want to deal with it. So do your homework. You might not get the best car. You might not get the coolest car, and all this other shit. But everything's got to work. The car, the amount, the payments, the ability to pay extra. So get your payments, get everything to work where your payments are low enough that you can pay extra to make yourself look better. So, yeah. And don't worry about APR. It's not usually, if you're under $10,000, it's not going to be that big of a factor to do a backflip over. Especially if you pay it off soon, pay it off before ahead of a time, or trade it in, or any of that shit. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Peace. Where's the stop button? Yeah.